Hello, everybody. I am back. What is going on in the world? Let's see. What do I find very interesting today? I feel like a topic that's been brewing that everyone's ignoring. Well, I wouldn't say people are ignoring it. It's just one of those things that where you're kind of like, let's talk about it later. Um, I guess I was trying to think about uh what are the kids gonna do later on as more and more jobs are taken away by AI? I don't know why I was thinking about this today, and I was just like, it's uh, it's pretty wild to see. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty wild to see like the slow erosion of jobs that that AI is taking, and I think we're people just aren't addressing it as much. And I feel like the government is doing a disservice by focusing on all these other things. Or maybe this is by design. That's the point. Maybe they distract you with all these other things as like AI is slowly taking over jobs. Because I think what's very interesting though is like a lot of the jobs that AI can do that does very well already right now are in a way high education jobs, right? Like in the UK, they're piloting a program for AI to start teaching their kids, which I find that very interesting as well because I don't know. Here's a thought that I was thinking about when I heard this is that the whole point of going to school is not to learn is not to gain I wouldn't say is to gain actual information because think about all the stuff that you know that you learned in school that was completely useless or it doesn't do anything. It's more the process of you learning that's important, right? Like learning how the like how math works. Like that's important, or what is it used for is important. Not just like, oh, 1 plus 1 equals 2. I mean, like what does that mean? To like, and some people don't even understand like what multiplication is, what division is. Like that's the point of going to school is like what does it mean? And doing the problems or reading the book, right? It's the point is not the information, it's the process. I trust the process. And so when I saw like that, um, and then it got me thinking about like lawyers, doctors, and how their job most of the time is actually just regurgitating information. Like especially lawyers. Like I feel like are lawyers. I feel like should be the most afraid of AI because it feels like 90%. No, sorry, 90% is that. Hello. It feels like 90% of a lawyer's job is just telling you what the law is or what is possible and what is not possible with the law, and that's basically it. And filing paperwork, like that's literally 90%. If you actually break down what a lawyer does, I'm not talking about a trial lawyer. Trial lawyer, that's something different. But yeah, a lawyer, most of their job is actually just knowing the law. But AI knows the law. AI knows the law, so they're screwed. I feel like in like 4 or 5 years from now, lawyers are screwed. And then you gotta think to yourself the hundreds of thousands of dollars that get spent to go to law school and whatnot, they're screwed. Let's see, who else is Dunzos? Uh, Doctors. A lot of the doctors. This part always boggles me about doctors is that a good chunk of their job is actually just Googling stuff while you're in the waiting room. Like that's what it feels like. They're like, oh, you have like they're already making advances on this already, where they are using AI to compare symptoms and stuff, and they like put it like they type in your symptoms, all your metrics or whatever, and they go, oh, this person probably has this or has possibly these things, and they go, okay, it's one of these, and that's they're already doing that. So that's literally a good chunk of a doctor's job of figuring out what do you have. So that's gonna get replaced. Let's see, they have AI girlfriends now. So girlfriends are getting replaced, boyfriends are getting replaced. Uh, I think that's also very. Here's a question, I guess. Do you feel like that's a more important? This is a more important thing that people need to be focused more on, or the the athlete thing? You know, like because I bring up the athlete thing because that's literally the first thing that when I woke up I saw Trump made it like he's fighting with California over the track athlete that's supposedly moving along to the other side. So I don't know. I talked about this in the other stream where I'm kind of like, can you just not? Can you can you just not? I, at what point do at what point do these athletes that are moving to the other side do this just for the attention? Like at some point they must know that if you're doing a sport and if you're moving to the other side, doesn't matter which way you're going, it's just a bad idea. Okay, we've seen it. We've seen this story a gajillion times. I'm just weirded out, I guess. Like what goes through the mindset? Maybe someone can tell me what goes through the mind if you're doing a sport and you're moving to the other side, to the other gender. That you want to continue competing. Like they know what's gonna happen. Um, and I've said this before as well, and I feel like 90% of America agrees with me on this, is that you do you as long as it doesn't affect me. Like, who really cares as long as it doesn't affect uh someone else. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. If you want to move to the other side, that's great. But can you just pause on doing athletics with the other, like, I don't know, but I guess that's part of the experience that they're trying to go for. Who knows? We're getting sidetracked. Let's get back to jobs that are screwed, I guess, as AI is slowly taking over. Let's see, teachers. Oh, le- as AI is taking over, do you think down the road, I'm talking 10, 10, 15 years from now, do you think we're all going to be speaking one universal language? Is that possible? Because I feel like with the internet and how things are going along right now, fashion has already, I feel like, moved to a point where we all around the world have a very similar fashion now. That's something that I don't know if you guys have noticed. But back in the day when I was growing up, right, you can tell somebody came from like if you guys don't know, I'm in California. We can tell if somebody came from another like state by their clothes. They just have different clothes. Their style is different. Like, oh, that kid over there, he's from New York. Like, look look at the way he's dressed. Or if you're from New York or whatever state, and you're like, oh, that kid right there, he's from California. Look at him. He looks like a skater kid. And you're like, that's the style. But as the internet blew up more and people start seeing each other from different states, like the style now is like fashion is there's one fashion now, you know. So I wonder as the translators become better and everything, do, do people just like maybe 20 years from now there'll just be one language. I mean, I feel like it will probably be English because a lot of people speak English now, and it's pretty easily. Oh, but maybe not. Okay, now the more I think about this, maybe not. My case in point, Japan. The Japanese have been learning English ever since they were little, all the way up. Like it's a mandatory class that gets taught in Japan from, I want to say, whatever their equivalent of kindergarten is, all the way up into high school. And I would have to say, most Japanese people have very big. They have as much. I feel like their level of English is the same as my level of Spanish. And I took Spanish when I was in middle school, and so I know basic words. Agua. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Escuerde. Is that, am I right? Escuerde. I, I always remember this in Spanish class. There was this part where they were telling us to, they give you those prompts that are like, oh, can you give Julio some directions to the biblioteca, right? To the library. And the only word I know how to say was escuerde. Escuerda? I forget now. But basically turn right or left. And they gave us a map, and you had to direct Julio to get to the library. And the only word I knew was to turn, let's just say turn right. And so I just said, Julio, like turn, make like multiple lefts. Like, I'm trying to remember. I knew how to say go straight, and I knew how to turn left or right, whatever. So it's literally like go straight, turn left, go straight again, turn left, go straight, turn left, and there you are. You're at the biblioteca. And so I feel like Japanese people, I feel like they learn English from a very young age, but their English is probably similar level to my Spanish. Like if you hear the words, you're like, oh yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. Getting back to what we were talking about. AI and it's taking over. Ooh, do you think AI, you know, it'd be crazy if AI's been running the government and they just haven't been telling us? Imagine, imagine if that was the program that they were working on with the last administration, that they had like AI run it, and they were just taking all the credit, and then no one's gonna say anything because once every new administration gets in there, they're like, oh snap, this is easy peasy. Because you think about it, like how hard it is. There's so many things going on. If you think about the scale of a country, right? How can you possibly know what to work on? It makes so much more sense that they have some kind of super AI computer working on it. And they're just chilling. Imagine, because like, I'm already doing this where I get big emails or big things and I just copy and paste the whole thing and I put it into like ChatGPT or whatever, and I have it like summarize this in one sentence. I'm just imagining like I don't know, let's name a random senator that Cory Booker. The only reason I know is because he did that thing where he his name pops up because I remember he did that thing where he spoke for like a day straight. Imagine he just got like some bill and he's like he puts through ChatGPT and he's just like, tell me what this bill's about, and the ChatGPT is like, it's about I don't know, something rights, and they're like, okay, approved. Because I guarantee you they're doing that already. So that's a big chunk of their job, right? Is to read bills. So down the road, I'm telling you. I guess down the road. Okay, now this got me thinking about Trump talking about how he said he wants to invest more into trade schools. Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows that maybe he knows things are not looking bright down the road, and we're all gonna be plumbers and electricians and construction workers and whatnot, whatever other trade school, cabinetry and whatnot. That's all things that we're gonna be in. We're all gonna have a coffee shop. Yeah, coffee shops. We're all you know what's other thing that's crazy is that they already have starting to have electric car like self-driving cars, but we still have Uber drivers. Uber drivers is like and DoorDash is like the safety net I feels like for a lot of people. And once that goes away, that's where the real chaos begins. What are you gonna do? You can't even be an Uber driver later. They're gonna use those self-driving cars. What are we all gonna do? You can't even be a content creator in the future because they already have. No, Julius, no, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, Julius. I know what you're trying to do. I I am so certain the audio works. We're not doing this. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me. But you know what would be really crazy? If I've been talking for like 20 minutes and the audio doesn't work, and Julius is actually being a really good person and is telling me that the audio doesn't work, and I'm all like, no, you know, no. Now you got me all paranoid. You got me all paranoid, Julius. If you guys don't know, Julius is trying to mess with me. He's saying there's no audio. But he's got me all You got me all paranoid now. There's only one way to prove that there's no audio, okay? I have to say it. I support the I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but that would have been hilarious if I just said that and a missile just comes down from the sky. Like you're like Drew's is like, oh, there's no audio. I can say whatever I want. And I'm like, really? You guys can hear this? That would be insane. Um, what else is going? What was I going? Julius messed me up. Cause now I'm thinking about there's no audio, but I was trying to make a point about AI taking over our jobs. I feel like we're having that moment where it almost feels like the like how cash registers are getting taken over by self checkout, and now where doctors are slowly getting replaced by self checkout. That's basically what's going on, right? And lawyers are getting replaced by self checkout, and then we're gonna have one person watch the checkout lanes, but then eventually that person gets replaced, or the self checkout watcher person. I feel like barely does is doing the bare minimum I wonder what that person feels like because half the time they're just standing around. But there's only so many jobs where you could just stand around, I guess. But that's what it feels like. We're slowly getting replaced by the self checkout, and everyone that's not involved in whatever other part doesn't care. They're like, oh, no, it sucks to be a self checkout person. I mean, a checkout clerk. Get some skills, and then they're like, bro, I'm a doctor, and you're like, well, get some skills, become a surgeon, and then later they have like, imagine, okay, you you go to school and you become a surgeon. I mean, not a surgeon, a doctor. I'm talking about family general practice, right? And you get replaced by AI. And it's the same mentality as people that are getting replaced by the self checkout, and they're like, get some skills. That's an entry level doctor position, okay? You're not supposed to live off of becoming a family general doctor, okay? That's entry level. And they're like, what? Entry level? I went to school for 12 years. Yeah, but surgeons go to school for 16 years. Go back to school, become a surgeon. And then they go back to school, you become a surgeon. And by the time you finish, they have AI surgical bots. And they're like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, dude, that's entry level now. medical student that goes to medical school comes out as a surgeon. Duh. We all know you're not supposed to become a general practitioner doctor. That's what the self checkout is for. But surgeons now entry level, and it just keeps on going up, and then eventually they'll have like a machine that you just come into. It's like a pod, and you just come in there, and it scans you, and then it just fix. Oh, but that sounds amazing. You know what? That does sound amazing. You think that's possible? I feel like that's possible. Like someone out there, Elon, work on this. Okay, stop sending ships, rockets up. Work on people that are here. A pod that scans you, takes your temperature, weighs you, figures out your nutrition, blah 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 blah. You know, medical stuff. Sees that you're lacking this vitamin. You know, sees that you need these. I don't know. You have this coming up. You need antibiotics. Right? Boom. Oh my gosh, your knee is 2 centimeters to the left. You know what? It adjusts it. Chiropractors out. Oh, you know what? Blood flow on this part here, not optimal. Acupunctures, acupuncturist is out, right? And then it just like you know what? It sees that you need this preventative surgery, and it just does it. Boom, 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 easy peasy. Uh, that actually sounds amazing. How come nobody's working on that? What are they working on instead? That sounds like the thing that AI needs to be working on right now. But imagine if it hallucinates and it just gives you random shots for no reason. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be someone that complains. Oh, I wouldn't say complain. They'll be like, "What are you giving me?" All right, that's it for today. We'll figure out another topic. If you have a topic that you want to talk about, uh, and just hear me go, I don't know, leave a comment. See you guys later.